the slot, tryna be in the corner. today. From Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, it's Week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Green Bay Packers taking on the Detroit Lions.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Detroit Lions. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
On first down, it's Green, and he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And bulldozing his way through. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Now Favre. Looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. The numbers for Sanders last week, 12 carries, 52 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
That's on the tackle, Penei Sewell. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. On the draw, here's Sanders. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on second and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Finds a seam inside the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. And that'll set him back 5. Now Goff. Complete. It's Johnson. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll make it a second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, you got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Looking to throw again on second down. Goff. He's got Njoku over the middle. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 13-yard line. From the red zone now, Goff. And he will find his man on the outside. And the Lions are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
So I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Here's Carter, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Ethan Carter, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions have taken the early lead on the road here at Lambeau. And when the smaller guy can't power it across the goal line, Charles, sometimes you need to go with a fullback. They did. It worked.
What's that thing about force and mass? How's that?
Oh, yeah. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, that's big-time stuff. That's from the same guy the apple dropped on his head, right?
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 55 rushing yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Favre to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Goff now to throw. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense, and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Goff. And a quick throw here that's complete. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Now it's gone. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return, and it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's doing his thing. He's got some good yardage, but his team right now in the second quarter, 0 points.
Just not a complete formula. Half of it's there, being able to run the ball and set the tone. What if they may have to go to some play action, throw off the run game, and try and get the ball in the end zone?
I was just going to ask you that same thing. Maybe you use that run now to set up the pass, right?
I would think so, because the run has been very effective for them.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets this one across midfield for the 1st down to the 46.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. A little bit of space there for the 1st down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And a give this time to the tailback. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On third down, it's Grant. And the nifty hurdle allows him to snag the extra yardage for the first before the tackle.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. They'll throw on first down with Favre. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So that one will be accepted. Throwing is Favre. Escaping the pressure right. He hits Adams complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
A first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Steps away to his left. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. The clock rolls as the Packers look to hurry things up. To throw is Favre. Flush to his right. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the campaign and 4th overall. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. From the 6. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. And Detroit getting set to go now. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Goff now looks to throw. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw is Goff. Packer pressure, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have the show at halftime as they head to the locker room. 7-7 our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And it's the Chiefs who have the lead in the second quarter. The Chiefs still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, let's get to Philadelphia as we check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. C.D. Lamb, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they trail the visiting Denver Broncos in that one. Tim Patrick, well over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. Meanwhile, in our game, each team able to manage just one touchdown apiece. 7-7 is our score. And for the call of the second half, we send it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. Takes it at the 7. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Lions getting set to go on offense to start the third. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Second half will start with a run by Sanders. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. Let's listen in on the call. Here's Sanders. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Throwing on second and long. Goff. Oh, Johnson, nice grab. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
That is one heck of a catch right there. Got his eye on it the whole way and able to make the grab one-handed. Very nicely done, and for a nice chunk of yardage, too.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the decision to challenge does not pan out, and that's also going to cost him a timeout. On 1st and 10, Goff. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Sanders trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to touchdown. David Njoku, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions have taken the lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
Favre's throw complete here to his receiver Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Favre. Flushed out right. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though,
You can't hold them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And that's complete. It's Green here. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. To the left side here for Eifert. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
On 1st down, Green. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off down at the 10. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. 2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that hit. Ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. And they'll run here with Carter. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. On 2nd down, it's Sanders, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. Another run here with Sanders. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Now Brown. Loving the Packers now with a 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And the catch good. It's Eifert. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Love rolling to his right. gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
On 3rd down, Green. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. This is taken at the 18. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And the Lions will take over. Detroit's offense ready to take over. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets 1st downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those 1st downs, keep possession of the football.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run with Sanders, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 42 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Goff on 1st down. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And the Packers are right back in this football game. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Escaping the pressure right. And under the Lions' pressure. He's brought down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Clock running, about to hit 90 seconds to go in the game. He's got the hook up here to Nelson. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. They'll try and throw for it with Favre. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Another run with Sanders. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They turn to Sanders. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 55 rushing yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. Goff with a kneel down here, and that should put a conclusion to this one. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be
half the adjustment? Whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Lions, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll get it to take on the Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Packers, the loss will drop them to 4-2.
the day. From U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's Week 7 of the NFL on EA Sports. The Minnesota Vikings taking on the Green Bay Packers.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And it would be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterbacks shake off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. A good run there to start the drive. 13 yards, first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Right back to him on first down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. The numbers for Green a week ago: 14 carries, 107 yards.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got this down to the 35.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And the Vikings are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 20 carries, 79 yards.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit
Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
He's going to get this one down to Cook.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, it should open up his running game. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss.
He'll look to throw.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cook. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 4, not enough. And it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Yeah, he's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. 2nd down now. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. He'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot.
So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he only manages a couple here, down to about the 38-yard line.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook.
And he's got this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Packers' 32.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. And the first play will be a field goal try. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far. And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Third down. It's Green. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So here are the Vikings to take over. They were losers to Kansas City a week ago, but they are out in front right now. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They start the drive with Cook. Oh, look at the juke. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again.
Not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Here's Moss with a catch out of the backfield. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Culpepper's throw taken in by Moss. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
They'll run on 1st down. Cook. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Second and 3. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Extra point attempt to follow here. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either.
Second and 10.
They'll set up a throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Freeman. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Flushed out right. And he wisely will throw that one away. And following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Now it's Peterson. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get this down inside of Green Bay's 15-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Moss. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down.
That was a heck of an effort to stop him just short of the marker, but now they're going to need another big play on 4th down on defense, I believe, because offensively, they went from 3rd and long to now it's a go situation here on 4th and inches.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Running for it, here's Cook. And not only did he not get in the end zone, he didn't get the first down either. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And that will force a turnover on downs. So the defensive front holding strong there on 4th and inches.
And how about the battle of big people up front? That turned into a leverage game, didn't it? Defensive linemen, they won it. Lower than the offensive guys, pushed them back, knifed through, and made a great play.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Back to throw now in his own end zone. Looking deep for Adams. And that one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
When you're backed up this deep, sometimes defenses sacrifice coverage for pass rush because they know you can only go so far on your pass drop. You've got the back of the end zone. So they came after him. He took the shot downfield. He didn't connect. But, boy, that was force against force.
He's going deep for Brown. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. So they got some pressure, maybe hoping to get a safety, and they get roughing the passer.
And gave up a pass completion as well. Nothing really went right on that play for them.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Now back to throw. He'll buy some time right. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
They'll throw now on the final play, eluding the pressure right. And it's complete to Adams. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Pulls it in at the 13. And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 at the 24. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
That's another beautiful throw right there. It gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off at the 48. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll keep it on the ground. Green. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. On second down now, it's Green. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. It's the fullback. His second touchdown on the season. And the Packers take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is down to a field goal. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the result, a Green Bay score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taken from about the 12. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you...
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of 2 ways, either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Devontae Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. Where he stands right now, as you see, already over 1,000. You have to think 2,000 is a real possibility. Long way to go in the season, but what he's done so far, spectacular.
It is, and you know what he's also hoping for? He's going to play a lot of man coverage from here on out, because one of the best ways to slow down production is to go to zone and double, triple team, put a number of people in the area that you expect him to run into. But man-to-man, every receiver believes he's going to win that battle. And you know what they all do? They all keep kind of a book, you know, on what the defenders do, what their moves are, their best things. And he wants to be able to refer to that book and beat one guy at a time.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
And they go play action with Favre. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone. that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 65 yards on the ground for him so far. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. This is caught by Antonio Brown. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Now Favre. This will be caught once again by Brown. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. First and 10, it's Favre. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 2nd down, Favre. Escaping the pressure. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Remember, throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time. And this is caught. And so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards. Hey, you're at the point in the game right now where you got to start taking some chances, and that chance paid off.
And it's a good idea to be that aggressive because, truthfully, the defensive guys, they're just playing not to make a mistake. That often means you can make a big play against them.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Looking to run it in, Kuhn. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Well, they went with a fullback dive that time.
And, Brandon, when I was a kid, the fullback carried the ball equally as much as the running back, then known as the halfback. Nowadays, the fullback's job is to block.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great effort effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Packers have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long, because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense, because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taken from about the 12. And he returns this to the 22.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field.
I don't want to say that they're completely against the wall here, Charles, but all of a sudden, with the run that they've been on the other sideline, this is down to a 3-point game. They got to be careful.
Not much space from their back to the wall, though. So you're exactly right. They've got to be careful here. But this is where the value of note-taking and recall comes into play. What was working earlier? Why was it working? Can you get those types of matchups again? And can you run those plays that get you a little bit more breathing room and a little bit of space?
So a decent game, but all for naught in the middle.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
He'll look to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And the return will stop right around the 25. A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
On first down, Favre.
Flush to his right, and he'll just get rid of it. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. On second down, it's Green. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Overall, I'd have to say that was just really good team defense, because to me, you can't pin that one on the running back. He had no shot there. He had a man in his face immediately.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
From the gun, it's Favre.
Gets it off to Freeman. And he had to get this down to the 15. He won't make it. He's a yard or two short. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. They'll try and run for it. Here's Kuhn. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
And his kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad.
But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On second down, Cook. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
First down now, but that clock rolling. They're going to look to throw. Looking here for Smith downfield. Touchdown, Vikings! Herb Smith Jr., his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. A try here for the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This taken in at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
So the Packers down on the scoreboard. At time, a huge factor. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. He's back to throw. Caught on the right side by Adams. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Back to throw.
Pass complete. It's Adams.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Back to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. I see you nodding your head up and down. It's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
Eluding the pressure right. He finds his man. Complete. It's Freeman. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Looking deep for Adams. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. But, Charles, a one-score game. Down to the end, we went. They had one final play in that one-score game. We all knew what was coming. The Hail Mary, they just couldn't get it done.
Not exactly complicated, was it? We all knew, as you said, and go long and see if we can find someone open. They didn't get it done. Someone's happy. Someone is not.
So for Minnesota, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll get another home date next week as the 49ers will come to town. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time.